Hey guys. So we recently joined a new Walking Dead group on Facebook. It's called, what's it called?
Yeah, it is called The Walking
The
Dead.
Walking Dead, a
Ha!
public group.
You doubt me. The question is whether or not, if you were the situation that Rick's in right now, whether or not you'd use antibiotics to try and save Carl. I say no.
Well, what he said is that he thought it would be kind of a colossal. You want to just read what you wrote?
Yeah, well, okay, I'll just explain it. So I'd say no to the antibiotics, and the reason why is because if I was like a doctor at a hospital, or say Dr. Jenner at the CDC, for instance, antibiotics would probably be the very first thing that I tried. Especially since like infection is one of the things that causes a high fever. It just seems unlikely to me that that wouldn't have been one of the first things that they tried, and given the fact that it doesn't seem to work, how difficult it is to find antibiotics in general would be a reason for me to not use it for a situation of which it's unlikely to make a difference. I would rather save those for when somebody has like a really bad cut or something, and they could end up losing a limb or even their life because they don't have antibiotics, instead of using it on a situation where it's not going to do any good anyway.
And here's my response. I would have zero fucks about that. I would need to prove to myself that antibiotics would indeed not work. Not only would I pump my kid full of antibiotics, I'd give them fucking children's Tylenol to keep the fever down. I'd do literally everything that I could possibly do. I cauterize the wound. I do a number of things. Now, whether it works or not, that's the test. There wouldn't be any scruples or boundaries to the things that I would try to save my kid, regardless of what I knew or what was reasonable or whatever. I would still try it because, tell you the truth, kids, nothing beats a fail but a try. And maybe this is the one time it could work.
Okay, what if before the CDC fell, they told everyone definitively the antibiotics do not work?
Doesn't matter.
Oh, that's just stupid.
Doesn't matter. I mean,
That's just a waste of good resources.
Waiting around for someone to get a cut or something, whereas someone needs it now. If it could extend their life.
No, they need something that you don't know what they need yet, because you haven't found a cure. Giving them stuff that doesn't make a difference doesn't make any difference.
But the environments and the controls have changed dramatically. Carl's been living in this situation for 3 years, and he's been interacting with walkers. And he's been covered in walker guts and blood.
But we already knew that everybody carries the virus. So
well, the first thing is that Carl has been living with the virus for 24, 40 hours, which is pretty long.
No, everybody has it in them. Remember, that's what Jenner told Rick.
Since he's been bitten,
yeah,
he hasn't turned yet in about 24, 40 hour period, which is longer than normal, on average. Usually, it's within like maybe 12 hours of a bite. 12 to 24 hours.
I think Jenner said between 2 minutes and 8 hours. So.
Yeah, so Carl has surpassed the 8-hour mark. I'd say fuck it. Let's go ahead and try everything that we've got, just in case. Just in case, on the off chance we're wrong. Just in case he has some form of immunity, because he has lasted a lot longer than normal. Why not use antibiotics at that point? Why not try? I mean, talking about saving antibiotics, they don't even have a home right now. Who really cares?
Well, I mean... That's exactly the reason why not to squander precious resources.
That's the last thing I would be concerned about. Like, my house is on fire, my neighborhood's on fire, and my son's bitten. I would give it a shot. I'd give it a last-ditch effort. And if it didn't work, well, okay.
I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense. But, I mean...
You're expecting...
I know.
Personality in a situation like that, which is not...
That's fine. But, I mean, well, it's not fine. But, I mean, like, I can understand that mentality. I'm just saying, like, personally, I don't think that makes a whole lot of sense.
I think if you were actually in it, your reaction would be different. If you actually had to look at your kid, slowly dying, that you'd probably try it if it was there and available to you, regardless of how much sense it made. I think you'd probably give it a shot.
But it's also wasting time trying stuff that's likely to work, or stuff that hasn't been tested. So it's still a waste of time either way.
What else would you do differently?
Well, children's Tylenol is actually not a bad idea, because it's actually directly working on the fever.
Why not antibiotics?
Because it's not an infection per se that's giving them.
The infection is what's causing the fever.
Yeah.
Now, if you use an antibiotic in conjunction with things to bring a fever down, maybe they can work together. Like, I don't think that they had children's Tylenol at the CDC. Like, well, let's use these things together as opposed to just the
they
one
had
thing.
Stuff that was more powerful than children's Tylenol, so I don't
But
think that makes a whole lot of sense, that
well,
argument.
they were trying to stop the virus as opposed to trying to stop the fever, it sounded like. I would work on both. And if you work on both, maybe there's an answer somewhere in the middle. I don't know. But
It's not clear whether or not it's because that's one thing actually that I don't really understand about the premise of the show is that Jenner said, "Oh, we all carry it." It's like, well, if we all carry it already, then why isn't everybody dying of a fever? Like, what is it about getting a bite that somehow like sets it off?
It activates
that's weird.
something that's dormant.
I don't get that at all.
It sounds like it's an activation.
Because like people can die of like a really bad bite from any species.
Honestly, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense because if you're scratched by a walker or if you get the blood of a walker on you, those don't affect you, but their saliva does. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But we'll just ignore that.
Yeah.
But
here's what I'd do if my son was bitten. I would immediately start emailing Scott M. Gimple. No, just. Oh, that's a terrible joke. People are going to hate me for that. I don't know. It just seems like based on what we've seen, that antibiotics wouldn't really be very effective. You know what I would try to do? I would probably try and find like a body of water to like put him in, because that would dissipate the fever to some degree. Because the thermal energy would get dissipated by the water. And so like that's the only, because obviously they don't have ice. So like there's nothing else
from the ocean.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's lakes and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know what they can do.
Yeah. I would do everything.
Hire somebody to, like, just blow on him really hard. Fan him with magazines. No. There's probably nothing you can do, but it's...
I mean, if Alexandria was on fire because they have electricity and stuff, they could have given him an ice bath.
This is true.
If Carl had said something from the beginning, that would have been I would have put him in an ice bath with the Tylenol and the antibiotics.
That's what they need to do.
First I would have cauterized the wound to try and burn it out.
Well, so I mean, Negan just showed up and turned off all the power and all that stuff.
No. When Carl is initially bitten, that hasn't happened yet. And if he had said something, well, then again, his father's in a trash heap at that time, and then his mom is walking around doing some dumb shit. There's just all of the adults are around doing something dumb. So, but that was me. If I was Carl.
Oh, I know what I do.
I wouldn't be writing goodbye letters. I'd be taking all the drugs.
Here's what I'd do. I would send Sadiq back up to ground level to scavenge all of the houses and get the remaining ice that's still in the freezers.
Actually, not even that. As soon as it happens, if that was me, I would have been like, Sadiq, get your ass over here and suck out this wound. I'd treat it like a venom bite. Suck out the blood and spit it out.
I don't think that works that way, but...
Why not? Like, that's the whole reason why they cut off Herschel's leg so it wouldn't spread.
Yeah,
so if you're bitten by a snake...
that only works if you do it right then, though.
Yeah, as soon as he's bitten, he should have said, Sadiq,
oh, you mean in the forest?
Yeah, suck it out.
Yeah.
Suck out the poison.
Yeah, he didn't even tell Sadiq that he was bitten.
That would have been my first course of action. Suck out this poison right now, goddammit. Like, the only reason why he was doing that was... The only reason why he was bitten was because Sadiq's dumb plan of putting down walkers when he's ill-equipped to do it. I would have told him to get his bitch ass over here and suck out this wound.
Sadiq's he has a rough intro into the show. Man, it's going to be tough to get on his side after this. But I don't know. I don't know. It's difficult to tell what I would do in the Carl situation. But I don't think the antibiotics would be like the first thing that I thought of.
The first thing would be, as soon as you're bitten, I'd suck out... If it's in an area where you can't cut it off, I'd have someone suck out the wound. That would be the first thing. Second thing would be antibiotics directly into the wound, because fuck it. If you only have pills, I'd crush it. I'd make it into like a liquid so I can put it in a syringe and just inject it right into that spot. And then I'd go to the Tylenol and the ice bath and then just wait.
I would try, if it was available, which it probably wouldn't be, but intravenous antibiotics. Like penicillin or something like that. Also, we don't know what happened with that. Again, I feel like that's the kind of thing that they would have done in hospitals right off the bat, but we've never seen anybody
Also,
try that.
And I might be confusing this with other zombie related movies or shows or something. But when the person is bitten, does the wound, like, does it get all veiny and stuff and dark and weird?
That varies like from movie to movie,
But
world to
does it happen
world.
in The Walking Dead?
No,
Oh, well,
no,
that
they
doesn't.
just die and their eyes like go white. There was like a thing. There was one thing in Fear the Walking Dead actually, where they like showed a close up of the eye, like as the person was turning, and it went from like normal color to white, like it like dissolved. But their face, and they get kind of pale.
Well, I just want to know about the wound specifically, only because, like, it doesn't give a look of being infected or anything, or does it just look regular? You know.
I feel like it looks just regular. I don't know if you guys like know of an example of this in The Walking Dead that we may have missed. Let us know. We'll look it up.
In conclusion, I would do all those things, all the things I possibly could, save them, whether it was rational or not.
I probably wouldn't. That's okay though.
That's what he says today.
People will
what
hate me.
He says tomorrow might be totally different.
Tomorrow when the zombie apocalypse happens and I have a kid somehow.
The metaphorical tomorrow.
Come on now.
The metaphorical tomorrow.
Anyways, on that note, if you guys like our content, please make sure to subscribe right up here in the corner. Also, check out the brand new blog, thelivingrashon.com, to see articles where we discuss controversial topics such as these and a lot of other stuff that we're watching and reacting to. As always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye-bye.